There's a number most men your age have never heard, and it has nothing to do with the candles on your birthday cake. It's your biological age, how old your body actually behaves on the inside. And for a lot of men over 50, that number is running years ahead of the date on their driver's license. Today, I'm going to walk you through 4 quiet signs that your body may be aging faster than it should, and more importantly, what may help you slow that clock down naturally. Stay with me, because the 4th sign is the one almost everybody ignores, and it's often the first domino that knocks all the others over. Here's the thing I want you to understand before we even get to sign number 1. Aging isn't one single switch that flips. It's a slow accumulation of small changes, and most of those changes are happening underneath the surface in your hormones, your muscle, your blood vessels, and your cells, long before you ever see them in the mirror. The men who stay strong and sharp into their 60s and 70s aren't lucky. In most cases, they simply caught these signals early and responded to them instead of shrugging them off as just getting older. So let's catch yours. Sign number 1 is the slow fade in your morning energy, not the dramatic crash. I'm talking about that subtle shift where you used to wake up ready to go, and now you wake up already negotiating with yourself about how soon you can sit back down. You get through the day on momentum and caffeine, and by 2 or 3 in the afternoon, there's a wall waiting for you. A lot of men write this off as stress, or a busy schedule, or just the price of being in your 50s. But chronic low energy in men is very often linked to a gradual decline in testosterone and a drop in the efficiency of your mitochondria. Those are the tiny engines inside every one of your cells that turn food and oxygen into usable energy. Here's why that matters. After about age 30, the average man's testosterone tends to decline a little each year. And testosterone isn't just about libido. It plays a role in red blood cell production, mood, motivation, and how energetic you feel. At the same time, your mitochondria can become less efficient with age, almost like an engine that's burning fuel but losing power. The good news is that both of these respond to how you live. Strength training a few times a week, getting real protein at breakfast instead of just toast and coffee, and prioritizing deep sleep can all support healthier energy production. Even something as simple as 10 minutes of morning sunlight may help reset the rhythm that controls when your body feels awake and when it feels tired. Energy is the first thing to slip, and it's often the first thing you can get back. Sign number 2 is a change in your body composition that the scale completely hides. You step on the scale, it says roughly what it always says, and you think you're fine. But look closer. Is more of your weight settling around your middle? Are your arms and legs a little softer, a little thinner than they were? This is one of the most important and most overlooked signs of accelerated aging in men, and it has a name. It's the slow trade of muscle for fat. After 50, men can lose a meaningful percentage of muscle mass every decade if they do nothing to stop it. That process is called sarcopenia. And here's the trap. Muscle is metabolically active. It burns energy, it helps control your blood sugar, and it acts almost like a storage tank for the amino acids your body draws on when you're sick or stressed. When you lose muscle and gain belly fat, 2 things happen at once. Your metabolism slows, so the same meals that used to keep you lean now add to your waistline. And belly fat in particular isn't just sitting there. It's biologically active tissue that can promote inflammation and may even convert some of your testosterone into estrogen, which can accelerate the whole cycle. So you can see how this feeds on itself. Less muscle, more fat, lower testosterone, less energy to train, and around it goes. Breaking that loop is one of the most powerful things a man over 50 can do. Resistance training is non-negotiable here, and I don't mean punishing yourself. I mean lifting something heavy enough to challenge you 2 or 3 times a week. Pair that with enough protein, somewhere in the range that keeps your muscles fed throughout the day, and you give your body the raw materials and the signal it needs to hold onto the muscle that keeps you young. And if you want faster, longer-lasting results, I've put the exact natural support I recommend in the link below this video. Sign number 3 is slower recovery, and I mean recovery from everything. A scraped knuckle that takes 2 weeks to heal instead of 2 days. Muscle soreness from yard work that hangs around for 4 or 5 days. A cold that knocks you flat for a week when it used to be a 2-day nuisance. Recovery speed is one of the most honest mirrors of your biological age because it reflects how well your body repairs itself at the cellular level. When you're young, your body is constantly and efficiently clearing out damaged cells and building new ones. As you age, that repair process can slow down, partly because of rising inflammation and partly because key hormones that drive repair, including testosterone and growth hormone, tend to decline. There's a concept I want you to know about called inflammaging. It's the idea that as we get older, many of us drift into a state of low-grade chronic inflammation that never fully switches off. You don't feel it as pain exactly. You feel it as that general stiffness, the slower healing, the achy mornings, the sense that your body just doesn't bounce back the way it used to. This low simmer of inflammation is linked to almost every major age-related concern, from joints to heart to brain. So what can you do about it? Quite a lot, actually. The foods you eat make a real difference. Colorful vegetables, fatty fish, olive oil, berries, and spices like turmeric are all associated with lower inflammation. Quality sleep is when the bulk of your repair work gets done, so guarding those 7 to 8 hours is not lazy, it's strategic. And staying active without overtraining helps your body keep its repair systems tuned. Recovery is trainable. The man who recovers fast at 60 is the man who stays in the game. Which brings me to sign number 4, the one I told you almost everyone ignores. It's the quiet erosion of your drive, your motivation, your competitive fire, your sense of forward momentum. Not just in the bedroom, though that can be part of it, but in life. The projects you used to chase now feel like too much effort. The edge you used to have at work feels duller. You find yourself more easily discouraged, a little flatter emotionally, maybe more irritable over small things, or strangely indifferent to things that used to light you up. Most men never connect this to their physical health at all. They think it's just their personality settling down with age, or they quietly wonder if something's wrong with them as a man. But drive and motivation have a strong biological component, and they are closely tied to the same hormonal and metabolic shifts we've been talking about this whole video. This is why I saved it for last, because it's so often the first domino. When your drive fades, you train less, so you lose more muscle. You reach for convenience food, so inflammation creeps up. You move less, sleep worse, and your energy sinks further. And every one of those feeds back into lower testosterone and lower motivation. It is a downward spiral that can disguise itself as simply mellowing out. But here's the empowering truth. Because all 4 of these signs share common roots. When you start addressing the roots, they tend to improve together. Get your sleep, your training, your protein, and your sunlight working for you. Manage your stress so your cortisol isn't constantly stealing from your testosterone. And many men find that the fog lifts, the energy, the recovery, the body composition, and yes, the drive, all start to move in the right direction at the same time. So let me pull this together for you, because I don't want you to just feel informed. I want you to feel equipped. Start with sleep, because it's the foundation everything else is built on. Protect a consistent 7 to 8 hours, like it's an appointment you cannot miss. Add resistance training 2 or 3 times a week to defend your muscle and signal to your body that you still need to be strong. Eat for your hormones and against inflammation. Real protein, colorful plants, healthy fats, and far less of the processed sugar that fuels the fire. Get morning light to anchor your energy rhythm. Manage your stress, because chronic stress is one of the biggest silent thieves of vitality in men your age. None of this is glamorous. All of it works. And the beautiful part is that your body, even at 50, 60, or beyond, is remarkably responsive when you finally give it what it's been asking for. The men who age well are not the ones who got the best genetics. They're the ones who noticed the early signals, the fading energy, the shifting body, the slow recovery, the quiet loss of drive, and decided to do something about it while there was still plenty of road ahead. That can absolutely be you. Aging is inevitable, but the speed at which you age is far more in your hands than you've been led to believe. If today opened your eyes to even one of these signs, do yourself a favor and take the next step instead of letting this be just another video you watched and forgot. I've gathered the exact natural support I personally recommend for energy, strength, and vitality, and you can find it in the link right below this video. Go take a look while it's fresh in your mind. You've got more strength left in you than you realize, and the fact that you watched this whole thing tells me you're exactly the kind of man who's ready to use it. Start with one change today, just one, and let it build. Your future self, the one who's still strong, still sharp, and still leading the way 10 and 20 years from now, is counting on the decision you make right now. Take care of yourself, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one. And remember, everything I've shared with you today is general educational information to help you ask better questions and make better choices. It is not medical advice, so please talk with your own doctor about your individual health before making any changes.